We are Venom! Hello there, I am Scotty. You are not. It's time to finally talk about Venom the Last Stand. But before I get to that, let's talk about this Sony Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man, shall we? Oh, that is not for the universe itself. It's for the peoples. The peoples who are out there shitting all over this thing. And it seems to be ever since Morbius came out. Like Morbius, people were like, it's fine, it's okay. But then Madam Web hit. And now that just feels like everyone's free to just shit on everything. And there were 3 of these movies that came out last year, and all 3 of them got relentlessly shit on by critics, by YouTube movie reviewers like myself, although I'm not shitting on them. I actually thought Madam Web was okay. It seemed very much like a 2000s, much like Morbius, a 2000s superhero movie, which that's the era I grew up with, so I don't mind them. They're certainly better than Daredevil and Elektra, I'll tell you that much. So, well, the Daredevil director's cut is pretty good, but, Morbius came out, people shit on it, I thought it was okay. Madam Web came out, people shit on it, said it's the worst thing ever, I thought it was okay. This came out, people were shitting on it, I thought it was okay, I thought it was better than 2. People said, this is the worst one, definitely. If you look at the case, it says it's the best one. I don't think so. The first one's still the best. But I'm sick of the hate for this universe. Everybody's shitting on it, and then they announced that after Craven it's done, and it was like, oh, hallelujah, yay, we can move on to other stuff. And I'm just like, we didn't get a conclusion, and we're getting sick of this. If you're going to do something, let's see it to the conclusion. I don't care how bad the reviews are. Stick to your guns on this. Even if you have to start releasing them direct to video to get them out, they'll have, I know that budget is a thing. It's when you have a certain budget, you got to make a certain amount back. I get that. But in my opinion, if you start something, you got to finish something. Like me. I have that Quentin Tarantino thing. I'm going to finish it sometime this year. I know I am. I finished the Will Ferrell thing. If I can get through that shit, I can get through that. Right? It just feels like the longer ones, the longer movies are coming up, so it's be a little difficult. Anyway, I just feel like people need to stop. I guess maybe not. It's not over yet. I don't know. Because apparently it's not over yet. I don't know. And even with this one being titled The Last Dance, the post-credit scene, yes, for some reason with this one being the last one, they still added credit scenes. But I'll give you this. Unlike the MCU, they're both pretty serious and not, haha comedy ones. They add to the story. Okay? But, so, talk about this movie now. Like I said, I liked it more than the second one. I do have a few issues, namely the timeline in which this takes place. It kind of makes no sense to me. There are some decisions that made me scratch my head a little bit. Particularly one towards, not the end, 3/4 of the way through, maybe. There was something that's like, oh no, you said you couldn't do this. Now you're doing this for something pretty stupid. And guess what? Something bad happened. We'll get to it. So, we start in Mexico, the end credit scene from Spider-Man No Way Home, which I need to remind you takes place right after Spider-Man Far From Home. Yes. So, that didn't remind you of that. So, he's talking with the bartender, and the bartender is talking about Thanos and how he snapped away his family for 4 years. Or 5 years. Right? 5 years? 5 years. Yeah. 2019. So that would make it 2024 when it takes place, when No Way Home takes place in 2024. Right? Because it was 2018. That's right, 2018. So it was 2023. 2023, right after, it was the starting of the school year, so it's September of 2023 when this takes place. All right. And at the end of it, it's Christmas of 2023. So, it's the timeline because we're going to discuss this. So he's talking with him, and that's when he's whooshed back into his. Actually, we get a cold open talking from some mysterious creature in some mysterious place, talking about getting revenge and all that. We will later find out this is Null, played by Andy Serkis, the director of the second one, who didn't do a bad job, but I didn't like the way that Carnage. I didn't like how they presented Carnage. Woody Harrelson was fine, but to kill him off in one movie, I don't like that. That's why I say it's like a throwback to the 2000s ones, where it's 2000s comic movies where it's one and done villains, and the MCU has moved beyond that, sorta, kinda. Can we do that, please? Please? Anyway, so then he's whooshed back to his universe, and to tell you that this is a different universe, the bartender's hair, which was up, is now down. And, so, I guess I should mention when the trailer came out, people were getting very pissed because they were, they showed Chilito Edwardor. I don't remember his name in this. First name Rex. So Rex souping up that symbiote, but the problem is the symbiote came out in the 616 universe, not this one. Well, I thought about this watching this. It's possible that there could have been multiple Venom droppings. I don't mean droppings in that way. He could have left one in the 616 universe and then left one here. I am very itchy. Yes. I have sensitive skin anyway, and I just shaved, so it's like, oh, and yeah, you're gonna notice I pre-recorded everything for February, so I'll have the soap patch. I just shaved it off. It's starting to bug me once it gets to a certain length. Anyway, so they decide they're gonna leave, and because they're still on the run, they decide they're gonna go to New York because, that's where he's supposed to be. Apparently, there was a judge that got him banned from New York, but now they're going to go there and clear his name. By the way, if that specific thing never happens, he still ends up in New York. Spoiler alert. I guess everything he's done is completely freed by the end of this. Completely erased by it. I don't know. Anyway, I am just irritated. So this now becomes an on-the-run movie, a road trip of sorts. They start, like you saw in the trailer, they're on a plane, but Null has said these things called a xenophage. I always call them xenopage, but I guess PH makes sound. So send a xenophage after them. And so we find out, this is very important, that when they're fully together, when he becomes fully Venom in Eddie, they can track him. So it's like, how did Jeremy Johns put it? It's like Frodo with the ring and Lord of the Rings. He puts the ring on, they can track him. So they're not allowed to completely morph. You can do the pop the head out thing, but they can't completely morph, which, yeah, I guess saves the budget a little bit. It's a road trip movie. So, yeah, they're knocked into somewhere. There's some secret agents, which are Rex's agents. One of them dies because Venom kills them, and that becomes a little problem. You didn't tell me. I didn't say you could kill them. You're not bad people. They're not bad. Oh, you can kill bad people, But wait, we get the horse thing, which doesn't last long. It's only for really what you see in the trailer. But it is pretty cool looking, I guess. So, yeah. So one thing you're going to notice is that none of, except for Mrs. Chen, none of the supporting characters from the last one come back. Maybe. Because apparently, Reed Scott, who played Dr. Dan in the previous two, was a stand-in for the shadowy head of this corporation that Rex works for. And my thought is, what if Dan has been this evil mastermind the whole time? Nice twist. I mean, it's like Ryan Reynolds also doing the voice of the villain in Hobbs and Shaw, which we're probably never going to find out because they're not going to do another one. But he did the voice for the villain, but he's not the villain. It's just the double performance. You know what I mean? I mean, they could retcon and make him the villain, but what are you gonna do? It also feels like that spin-off they set up, Hobbs and Reyes, also isn't happening because they're focusing on the new one coming out in 2027, 26, 27. Wish they'd just film and release these damn things where it's taking too long. You do realize you ended on a cliffhanger, but now, because you took too damn long, Fast X came out in 2022? 2027 is 5 years. You know how much 5 years is for a kid to age? You ended up on a cliffhanger. You're either going to have to recast little Brian or do some CGI shit and then have a time jump because you waited too long. But they've recast little Brian before, so I guess it shouldn't matter. But I don't know. I just feel like if they were going to do a cliffhanger, they should have filmed back to back. Which is what I know there was the film strike thing going on, but still. Anyway, back to this. During the road trip, they meet a family, which is led by Martin, who is played by Rhys Ifans. Now, I need a little bit of a complaint here, a little bit of a rant, just a little bit. People saw this kid in the trailer that's with them and beginning to speculate, oh my God, it's little Peter Parker. Little Peter Parker, oh, he's going to have to protect Peter Parker. I'm just like, what if a kid is just a kid? And that's when people, I think that's another reason why people complain, is like, it's just a kid, that's disappointing. But that's because you, yourself, made it more than it was. It was always just going to be a kid. You took speculation and built it up inside your head that the kid was going to be something more than it was. So you were disappointed when your expectations that you created didn't come true. And that is your fault for looking way into something too much. It's just a kid. And other people also saw Rhys Ifans and, oh my God, is this another version of Dr. Connors? To that end, I want to point out that I think it is a waste to bring in actors from previous Marvel superhero movies and not have them be the alternate versions or variants of those characters. Because that's the whole thing, is that the actors come back to play the variants, and as another reason people got disappointed because that's not what they are. Now, in the defense of Rex over here, what if Mordo, Carl Mordo is supposed to be his name, Maybe that's just the name within the magic realm. Although Stephen Strange is his real name, but within the magic realm, that's the name he was given, is Mordo. And his real name is Rex something or other. That could be it, sure. And the whole thing with Chiwetel Ejiofor, whatever his name is that we've already seen him play another variant of Mordo. So this is even more confusing. They didn't try to hint that or something. I don't know. And for recent fans, I like Martin in this. He's a fun character, so I'm not mad at it. I don't know what they would do if it was Kirk Connors anyway. The little kid would have to be Billy then if that was the case. But, I also like Alana Ubach. That's a small role. She's great in Waiting. She was good in that. She's okay in the second one too. One of the better parts of that horrible movie. But Still Waiting it was called. Which didn't really bring back any of the big stars from the last one. Just sort of took all the ones that needed to pay a check. But yeah. And so while they're on the little walking road trip, this is where we get the drop that they've only been together for a year. And I went, bullshit. It's not 2019. It's 2024 or 2023, because they were in the 616 universe and saw the ending to Far From Home, which takes place in 2023. So it can't be only just a year. Sorry. No dice. Don't believe that. Don't buy it. My wallet, not coming out. No, I don't buy it. That makes no sense to me. Okay? Because we know the MCU has a 5-year time jump, so that puts it 2023. So, this should also be 2023. To be fair, that would mean that he had been in Mexico hiding for 6 years. But still. Or unless when did that come out? 2021? Did it come out? I think. That's one of 2018. 2021, I think. So, for 4 years, he's been hiding in Mexico, which could work, I guess. But, I don't know. You could also say, well, Scotty, maybe time is different. Maybe he's also pushed an MCU 4 years ahead. And when he comes back, he's pushed back 4 years. Could be. That's never explained, though. So it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what else doesn't make any sense? Mrs. Chen. So, we'll go. Here's another thing first. So, this family, Martin's family, is on the way to Area 51. Area 51. Because they're closing it. They publicly announced they are closing Area 51. So, I don't know how it is on this earth, but over here, they deny the hell out of Area 51's existence. They wouldn't just announce, oh, we're closing it. Because no one's supposed to know it exists. So maybe it's public knowledge on this earth. Who knows? But it just doesn't make any sense to me. That irks me a little bit. But they're going there to stop in Vegas. Even though Area 51 is in New Mexico, but they stop in Vegas to drop Eddie off. And this is where I realized something that even goes all the way back to Spider-Man 3 with Venom that they haven't translated into live action. Making clothes. So, we already saw from the trailer that he knocks a guy out because he pissed on him, and he takes the guy's clothes. The problem with that is we learned from the animated series version, which I will be talking about in March, spoiler alert, a little bit there, that Venom can construct his own clothes. And they haven't done it here. They didn't do it and they didn't even, I thought about it, thinking about this, watching this, I'm like, they didn't even do it in the Tobey Maguire one, because he had to go to the store to buy the new black clothes. Do the thing. So, yeah, that's not a part of the movies, which it should be, and it makes things a lot easier, because there's a whole running joke about him losing his shoes that could have been fixed by that. We didn't need that, Oh, and Mrs. Chen is also here. For reasons. They decide to go play the slots Play the slots. Play the slots. Play the slots. And he loses his shirt. He loses. But Mrs. Chen is there on the winning streak of her life, so she, allows him to stay in her hotel room and eat the food and everything. And then she asks for a dance. And this is where I went, wait. No. What the hell are you doing? So Eddie's like, no, I don't want to dance. So Venom fully emerges and dances with Mrs. Chen to Dancing Queen by ABBA. And I'm sitting there going, no, you literally just said every time you fully transform, those xenophages can find you. I guess what fucking happens? Xenophage shows up and there's a fight. But then the government shows up because somehow they can track them. That's never explained. At least not that I paid attention to. Oh, there's also this woman, Dr. Payne. Her role is pretty much pointless because we get this backstory dream at the beginning about how she was with her brother and he got struck by lightning, which killed him, and then that also made her lose her arm. And that never comes back. There's one mention of, you still missing your brother? Out of nowhere, in a scene that doesn't really make sense for it to be in. Because it's when things start to hit where, because they capture Eddie. And they leave his shoes behind because of the gag. They leave Mrs. Chen there, even though she's a fucking witness, and they should really take her with. They just leave her there. This is the worst government agency ever. You take witnesses. Hello, have you seen anything ever? Any witnesses must be taken so they don't start spreading things. But this is a world where A51 is public knowledge, apparently, so whatever. So they take him to Area 51, where we see, by the way, he is on the run because of that Patrick Mulligan guy, the detective from the last one, who I thought was Donnie Wahlberg in the trailer. He's still alive and has an unnamed green symbiote in him, for lack of a better term. And they talk a little bit. By the way, they extract Venom from him for no reason, because the other people who are trapped there are also are allowed to keep the symbiotes in them, but, or at least Mulligan is. And it's not the symbiote that went to him at the end of the first one, at the end of the second one. For some reason, no, that one died, and he's got a new one. I don't know why. They said that one died and he's got a new one. I don't know. And this is where Rex shows up and is like, we're going to take him. He killed one of my men, so I'm going to return the favor. Sir? Venom is not inside this man anymore. This is murder. That is a felony, and you will go to jail. I don't care if it's quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Squid pro quo. They're saying Austin Powers. Keep a look out for those, by the way. If it is quid pro quo. You work for the goddamn government, and you can't be doing that shit. You will go to jail. But now he's going to shoot him, and Venom happens to be in this other chick, whose the name is Dr. Christmas. I guess she's someone from the comics. I don't know. She barely does anything. Really. But then because Venom once again forms with this lady, he forms with Eddie, the xenophages show up again, and we have a bunch of other symbiotes fusing with random people, and that's where I'm like, did the director of this film not watch the first one? They say that a symbiote bonding with someone is special. It can't be done with everything. The whole thing with the process that the guy that Rizamed was doing in the first one was trying to bond symbiotes with humans, and they kept dying. But here it's like, nope. They can go to anyone they want. They can jump. Sometimes two of them form together. Have a two-headed one for some reason. Just go to anyone they want. Because reasons. We gotta have a big final fight, which this is actually pretty badass with all these things. But then Martin and his family are also here. And it's like, shit. By the way, there are 2 F-bombs in this. Technically. We get a fa from Venom early on. And then, fuck. here at this point. But that I'm counting that as 2. And there's even sometimes they say effing or freaking, and I'm like, was this originally supposed to be rated R? They filmed it that way, and we're told, nope, I'll let you wear PG-13, you gotta do it. Because that's what it seems like. There's a couple of times where they say effing, and then they say freaking, and it feels like a dubbed for TV version. And I'm just like, did they cut out some F-bombs because they wanted this to be rated R, which everybody wanted, and they cut it? The violence and stuff doesn't dictate that, but a lot of it is just symbiote on xenophage stuff with the black goop. So, you know. Yeah. But, yeah, and Rex gets fatally wounded, and no symbiote tries to bond with him to save him. I guess that would... Well, technically, he's not dead, so that wouldn't... Because they say the whole thing with this codex. I forgot to mention that. The codex that Noel's after is when someone dies and the symbiote saves them, it creates the codex. And if you remember, in the first one, Venom brought Eddie back to life. So that created a codex. No idea why it took 5 freaking years. Yeah. It's still 2023 to me. 5 years. Sorry, not buying your 1 year. They say 1 year so it doesn't... I just caught that. They say 1 year because 5 years would be too long. But it's been 5 years. Sorry. It's 2023. I'm not buying your stupid 1 year bullshit, Sony. Okay, I'm not. Okay? Oh, well, maybe the first one took place in 2022. No. 2018. Not buying it. Nope. I know they played around with timelines before, because Madam Web technically takes place in 2004, 5, 3, 4, 2004. But anyway, there's a big battle, and Rex they come up with an idea that they can use this acid to kill the xenophage, because every time they try to kill them, they just back together again. So they use this acid, and Rex activates it twice, and he busts the thing. He puts this door on Eddie to protect him, but like it wouldn't, because 1, acid can go through metal. 2, it's only protecting the front of him, not underneath or around him. Huh? Acid eats through metal. Hello. But no, maybe it's just for the splash, I guess. I don't know. But Venom sacrifices himself. Don't worry, we'll get to the post-credit scene. Sacrifices himself, and that's it. And then Eddie wakes up in the hospital and thinks it's a dream. Well, I forgot that Martin shows up and Bucket uses a bazooka to blow up one of the xenophages. And then he runs back to his family because, yeah, Martin's the man. Go Martin. I want a Martin spin-off movie. I'm joking. Sony, don't give us one. Sorry. Martin. I don't know what the hell you do that anyway. So he wakes up in the hospital. Eddie does. Thinking it was all a dream, but no, this government guy, because apparently Rex died of his wounds, acid was splashing on him too, so again, why did he have to die? You know? I don't know. And he says, you're pardoned, and you can do what you want, but if you mention this to anyone, then we're going to throw you in the deepest, darkest hole, and you'll never see the light of day again. And have fun. So he goes to New York, which I'm still confused on, because is he pardoned for everything? Even the thing that banished him from New York in the first place? Did I mention on the first one, was that something to do with the newspaper thing or something? I don't know. But, yeah, and we get a flashback to all the fun moments with Venom in the last 3 films, and I think it's from all 3 films. I don't know. I just sort of listened to the song. And then the movie ends. Mid-credit scene. Mid-credit scene. Null declares that now since Venom is dead, this world is no longer protected. The universe is no longer protected, and he can do whatever he wants. Problem, pal. You didn't get the codex, so you can't do shit. The whole thing was that you needed to get the codex to break free. No codex. Nothing. Again, they could do something if that symbiote piece that was left in the 616 universe, maybe Peter Parker is mortally wounded and it finds him. That creates a new codex, so Null would... And he even says the King in Black, and that's rumored to be what the next one's called, although we don't know that. And then the post-credit scene sees the bartender escaping from Area 51. How he was left behind, I don't know. And he's all freaked out. And then we see a black cockroach that's hinted to have the Venom symbiote that was taken from the bar. So it's not that. So all the goodbye stuff was for nothing. I don't know. They did foreshadow this, talking about cockroaches can survive a nuclear holocaust, which is true. Those things won't go anywhere. So, yeah. I thought it was fine. I'll give it a high middle of the road. I think it was better than the second one, for sure. But it's not terrible. It was fine. Some of the comedy landed for me, pretty much. There was something that rolled my eyes, which is why it's getting a middle of the road. But I don't get the hate at all. And I have a feeling once I get to Kraven, unless that is completely horseshit, which I doubt, I'm gonna feel the same way. A lot of these movies, I don't hate. I've been a supporter of this universe since the start, man. So, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Venom: The Last Dance? Become so much like, share, and subscribe. Before I go, while I bought Venom: The Last Dance, I also bought Smile 2 and The Substance. Now I'm going to watch these now. But I'm not going to do any full reviews till October. So I'll do short, spoiler-free little... You can do 3 minutes in shorts now, so I can do a little bit longer. Short little blurbs about each of these. I'm gonna try to watch this one tonight, and then this one will be tomorrow. And I'm releasing these videos the day of, so you shall see. And you're wondering, 4K? Well, that's because Walmart did not have a Blu-ray of this. They had the 4K and the DVD. They didn't even have a spot for the Blu-ray, which confused the hell out of me. I even looked in other places. I looked for like a standee thing, nothing. So I don't know. It's very confusing. But I wanted the Blu-ray, so this is the best way I could do it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm this guy, and I'll see you in the next one.